So we're going to discuss ratios, and let's start with 4/7 and what are the different interpretations of it. We could think of it as the fraction 4/7, that is 4 out of 7 equal parts. So that's the fraction 4/7. You could also think of it as 4 divided into 7 equal parts. So that's 4 divided by 7. Or we could think of it as 4 to 7, which means out of a total of 7 plus 4 parts, which is 11 parts, 4 out of 11 are of one type, and the rest, 7 out of 11, are a different type. So for example, 4 to 7 is the ratio of red M&Ms to, let's say, green M&Ms, which means out of 11 equal parts, 4 out of 11 are red and 7 out of 11 are green. So that's another way of thinking about it. So that's what a ratio is. We write a ratio as a fraction. A to B is how we read it. We write it as A with a colon B, but any sort of calculations that we do with ratios, we write it as the fraction A over B, and we read it as A to B. So if I say, for example, the sugar to flour ratio is 1 to 2, what does this mean? If there are a total of 3 parts, 2 plus 1, 3 parts, 1 out of the 3 parts, let's say, is sugar, and 2 out of 3 parts is flour. And that's the meaning of the ratio 1 to 2, sugar to flour. If there are 13 men and 14 women in the group, what is the ratio of men to women? So men to women is 13 to 14. Also written as 13:14. But in this class, let's just think about it as a fraction, 13 to 14. What is the ratio of women to the total? So women to the total. So there are 13 women and a total 13 plus 14, and that's equal to 13 to 27. So if there are a total of 27 people, 13 of the 27 are women, and men to total is 14 to 27. Now we're going to treat ratios as fractions. And just like fractions are written in the lowest terms, we are also going to write the ratios in the lowest terms. So the length of the rectangle is 15 meters. The width is 10 meters. Find the ratio of the length to the width. So length to the width. And the order in which we write it is important because we want to go length to width. So the length is 15 meters. Width is 10 meters. Remember, we treat it just like a fraction. So the meters cancel. We write the fraction in the lowest terms. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10, and we cancel the 5s. And it is 3 to 2. So length to width is 3 to 2. So we've reduced the ratio, which we've written as a fraction, to the lowest terms. The wildlife study involved banding ducks and then studying those birds when they were recaptured. Of the 85 captured, 17 were banded. So 85 is the total number of captured birds. Banded is 17. So 85 minus 17 is 68. So unbanded ducks would be 68. So what is the ratio of banded ducks to that are unbanded or not banded? So banded is 17, 2, so divided by unbanded, that is 68. Now let's see if we can simplify this fraction. 2 goes into 68. 2 3s are 6. Bring the 8 down. 2 4s are 8. So we could write it as 17 over 2 times 34. Now remember that 34 can again be divided by 2. So that is 2 1s are 2. Subtract, bring the 4 down, and 2 7s are 14. We get a 0. So we could write it as 17 divided by 2 times 2 times 17. So when it's not clear that there is a common factor, we need to break down the numbers first and then check. And if we hadn't done that, we wouldn't have noticed that 17 is a factor of both the numerator and the denominator. 17 over 17 is a 1, and the denominator is 2 times 2, which is a 4. So it's 1 to 4. So 1 to 4 is the ratio, and we write it as the fraction 1 to 4, which is reduced to the lowest terms. What is the ratio of the banded ducks to those that are captured? So banded ducks, let's see, are 17, and captured, total captured is 85. So 17 banded, 2, so by, divided by, captured, that would be 85. So last time we didn't notice that 17 was a common factor. Let's just see if 85 is divisible by 17. The only number that I can think of is multiplying by 5, because it ends with a 5. 7 5s are 35. 5 1s are 5. 6 7 8, 85. So as expected, 17 is a factor of the denominator. When we divide 85 by 5, we get 17. So even if we notice that 5 is a common, if 5 is a factor of 85, we go 5 1s are 5, subtract, 8 minus 5 equals 3, bring the 5 down, 5 7s are 35, and that's equal to 0. And this is equal to 1 to 5. The ratio of unbanded, so let's see how many unbanded. Unbanded is 68. Unbanded ducks to those that are captured, which is 85. Now remember, 17 goes into 68. I think we figured this out 4 times. 17 times 4, 7 4s are 28, 4 1s are 4, 5, 6. So 4 times 17 over 5 1s are 5, 5 7s are 35. This is equal to 4 over 5. What is the ratio of the unbanded ducks to those that are banded? Unbanded, which is 68, banded, that is 17. I think that is the reciprocal of 17 over 68. 17 over 68 was 1 to 4, and this would be 4 to 1. So 4 times 17 divided by 1 times 17, and that's equal to 4 to 1.